Are you ready to start drawing your own tooling patterns? Truly create one-of-a-kind projects from start to finish and have full ownership of that? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to draw patterns to fit your projects rather than have to create a project around this pattern that you like? It's going to give you so much freedom just to be able to sit down, put a piece of paper or leather in front of you and go to drawing and fit things exactly where you want those. And you can do this, but it all starts with a framework. Think about a custom house builder, right? There's custom homes out there that are completely one of a kind. You've never seen anything like them before, but there's a basic framework that they have to follow, right? First, they have to lay a foundation, and then they put up the studs and the framing in there and frame your walls in, and then they're gonna run your plumbing and your electrical and then put all the fancy details, whether it's drywall or whatever, cover that framing and make it one of a kind. Now, there's a lot of custom things that can happen with that. Where they put that framework and how they lay that out is going to make different layouts of that house and make it look a whole lot different. But there's a plan and a purpose with what they're doing and certain guidelines that have to be followed. Right now, how creative that builder gets, they can bend those rules a little bit here and there, but there's still basic structure guidelines that they follow to create that. The same way with drawing a tooling pattern. There's a reason why they all look similar, right? There's a similarity between patterns, but they're unique and different. It's because we have to lay out a framework. It's not just a magical thing that comes about and just this burst of imagination that hits paper. It doesn't work like that. There's a basic framework and guidelines to follow. We're going to start by laying out a skeleton, a structure of that pattern. And then we're going to put in some space fillers, some of those flowers and leaves and scrolls and things that are going to take up some of that big space. And then we're going to connect those with your vine work. And it's a process that we go through. This is a learned skill. I've been drawing patterns for over 20 years now, and I didn't know how to do it when I started. I wasn't very good. I have a lot of patterns back in boxes that look horrible. But I was able to learn and develop skills, and you can do the same thing. Once you get that basic foundation, understand the steps that you go through, and then learn how to do those steps, now you can put your artistic flair into that, right? We create things from inspiration, and you're going to take inspiration from different styles of tooling that you like, different artists that you like and that you see, and by applying those inspirations to your work, that's how you start to begin and develop to create your own style, right? And I think that's what maybe we all want when we start drawing our own patterns is we want to get our own style. We don't want to just copy somebody. I don't want mine to look just like his or just like hers. Like I want it to be my own, right? We're not going to invent new things in leatherwork. This industry has been around for thousands of years, literally. And we're going to take our perspective, right, and then put that in the leather. And that's where you make it unique, right? Your perspective, your own perspective, the things that you look at, the things that you like, whether it's this person's tooling or that person's tooling, or whether it's the pattern on the carpet in the airport that you walk through that caught your eye and you think, oh, that's really nice. I like the way that flows. And then you take those ideas, those perspectives, those things that stand out to you. They might not stand out to somebody else, but they stand out to you and you enjoy those. And then we put those into the framework. You start adding those on as you're laying your framework out there, right? Just as the builder puts up those studs and lays that foundation in place, but they see things just a little bit different. They see it from their perspective, so they're going to have things laid out a little bit different. That's how it works with patterns. So if you're ready to learn how to do this, you have to remember a couple things. Number one, it's not going to happen overnight. I didn't learn how to draw patterns overnight. It takes a lot of work. Now, granted, you can probably do it much faster than I did. I learned the hard way and the long way. I don't recommend that, right? But has anybody ever told you that practice makes perfect, right? Practice makes perfect. You just got to practice your drawing. Well, they're lying or they're wrong. Like, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So just sitting down and drawing, just sitting down and trying doesn't necessarily do the trick. You're gonna set in the habits and the skills that you're practicing, right? So yes, it is gonna take time, it's gonna take effort, it's gonna take practice, but it's important of what you're practicing, right? Do you think it would be helpful, and do you think you could learn quicker if you had guided practice sheets and somebody told you practice this way for this reason, and you start building these blocks along the way to start building skills rather than just throwing your pencil to paper and trying to figure it out and just deciding, it doesn't look good, crumple it up, start again. It doesn't look good, crumple it up, start again. But wouldn't it be nice to learn that skeleton, that structure that goes into drawing a pattern right from the get-go and have guidance to walk through that? That's what I want to offer you in the Pencil to Pattern Challenge. This is a program we put together that helps walk you through those steps and help give you a firm foundation to learn on. Not that I'm going to make you the #1 best pattern drawer in 4 or 5 days. Like, that's not going to work, right? It does take that time. But what I want to do is I want to give you the skills, the tools that it takes, give you the direction and know what to practice and why we're practicing that. And once you develop these individual pieces, now we can start putting those together, right? Just like we've laid out the framework and you decided this flow and put this skeleton in, and now we need to add flowers. If you know how to do that, if you know how to draw a flower here by itself, now you can start putting that in different places. And pretty soon, you're going to be able to sit down and draw a whole pattern all the way out. And you'll think, wow, this isn't near as hard as I had in my mind that it had to be. Right? Because it's not a random creation. It's a set of steps that we follow. It's a process. And then once you learn that, once you learn those basics, then you can begin to add your own flair to it, right? But learning that foundation is what's going to set you up for speed. It's going to save you years and years of heartache and practice and crumpling papers, right? Let's get that foundation from the get-go. If you're interested in doing this and want to take that next step and want my help in learning how to put these pieces together, I would love to help you. I would love to see you be able to draw your own patterns and get that freedom of just drawing any pattern you want to fit any of the spaces, right? I want to see you have that pride, that ownership in a project, and being able to tell somebody, I created this all the way from the beginning. I drew the pattern out, I tooled it all, I designed it all, and this is my finished product that I own, that I designed. I want to see you do that. So check the link below and get on the list. If registration's not open, there'll be a wait list, but the next Pencil to Pattern Challenge is for you. I would love to see you in there. Spots are limited in each challenge, so again, if you've missed out on the next challenge, be sure to get on that wait list. I'd love to see you in a future challenge and like to see you be able to find the same freedoms that I've been able to find throughout this journey of learning the process of drawing my own patterns. So just remember, you can do this. I wasn't artistic to start with. I had to learn it, and you can too. I want to help you. So check the link below. Appreciate you allowing me to be a part of your Leathercraft journey. We'll see you on the next one.